Today we're talking MyCiTi buses. So why don't you grab a cup of coffee and let's get into it. Most Cape Townians will know about MyCiTi buses. You probably get a bit annoyed about them, those blue and red buses that sometimes block you as you're driving down the road and stopping on the side. Another whole bunch of people are probably annoyed by them because there's so much construction and there's been construction there for years and has built up a whole lot more traffic, but it's all for a good thing. If you don't use public transport, you might assume they're not really meant for you at all. But what if I told you that Cape Town is currently building the largest public transport system in South Africa, and that this system is trying to reshape how the city works at a physical, structural level? We're not talking like new routes here, not just buses, but roads, bridges, intersections, stations, payment systems, jobs, and connecting neighborhoods. And it's all really cool and really designed about one idea: a city that works when people can move through it efficiently. And I know I'm getting a lot of hate from this, but this is how it should be and what we're aiming towards. So don't hate me, this is a good vision. Today I'm going to try to show you what MyCiTi is meant to be and what phase 2A, which is what is currently happening, really means. And why one really cool piece of infrastructure, a traffic circle, is going to change the way transport works in Cape Town. Let's begin by saying that MyCiTi is not really designed as just buses. It's designed as a BRT, or Bus Rapid Transit System. And this system has been pioneered in cities like Curitiba and Bogota, and now used all over the world. The idea behind BRT is simple, kind of radical. Buses get their own lanes, stations work more like train stations, and services are scheduled, frequent, and monitored. Payment happens on board, not at the door, and everything is designed to move a lot of people quickly. In Cape Town's case, the system is run by the city, but the buses themselves are operated by private companies under contract. This alone already puts MyCiTi in a completely different category from informal or unscheduled transport. But here's something most people don't know. MyCiTi isn't primarily a transport project, it's an urban restructuring project. When MyCiTi launched around the 2010 World Cup, the early phases focused on the West Coast, Tableview, Atlantis, the airport, all those routes. The CBD areas were also relatively easy to build in. They had wider roads, lower density of people, and less political risk. Phase 2A is kind of the opposite. Phase 2A runs straight through the metro, southeast, and this is one of the busiest and most spatially unequal parts of Cape Town. These are areas such as Khayelitsha, Mitchell's Plain, Nyanga, Gugulethu, Philippi, Hanover Park, Lansdowne, Wynberg, and then you get Claremont. This is where commuting distances are honestly the longest. Transport costs are now eating into people's salaries, and roads are already overloaded. Trust me, I travel on the N2. Millions of people move every day, often using multiple taxis and transfers. This phase 2 is valued at over 4 billion rand, with the total MyCiTi investment now exceeding 17 billion rand. When complete, this phase alone is expected to serve 1.4 million residents. It should connect 35 plus suburbs and carry up to 100,000 passengers per day. This will hopefully reduce private cars as well as emissions, which I'm always a fan of. But the buses are just the visible part. Along the phase 2A corridor, the city isn't just adding lanes, they're rebuilding all sorts of things. There will be dedicated bus lanes in both directions. There's closed median stations that function like little train stations. There's some open curbside stations for neighborhood access. There'll be new bridges, including pedestrian bridges, which is needed. There'll be wider pavements, cycling lanes, and access for everybody. They'll add new lighting, CCTV, landscaping, signage, and art. There are major intersection redesigns which will hopefully ease congestion for all traffic. In many places, the existing sewer, water, and storm water systems are being relocated and upgraded. This means that services around these routes are improving quietly, and this will happen long after construction ends. That is why projects like this really take years, because it's very deeply involved and intricate. Now we get to the exciting part, and this is why I wanted to make this video, because I thought it was cool. At the intersection of Govan Mbeki Road and Jan Smuts Drive, the city is building something South Africa has never seen before. Okay, I know that's dramatic, but anyway, it's a freestanding, elevated traffic circle, and that's exclusively for buses. So if you want to go on this magical circle, you'll have to take a bus. And it's called the Sky Circle. Here's how it works. This existing intersection becomes a normal traffic circle at ground level, but above it, 6.2 meters in the air, a circular structure carries the MyCiTi buses. The circle is hollow, which lets light down to the road below, so it's not like this dingy pit, and buses don't stop for traffic lights or congestion. They can just keep driving. The cars and pedestrians continue underneath, unaffected. So it's really cool. It exists because this intersection is a critical choke point. If buses were delayed here because of traffic, the entire phase 2A would not really work so lacquer. So instead of trying to optimize traffic lights, the city removed the conflict entirely. I think that's kind of cool. This kind of grade separation, which is the different levels, is common for trains, but it's not super heard of for buses, especially in South Africa. And here's the clever part. Because the sky circle sits above a traffic circle, road users will literally watch it being built in real time as they drive around it. I know some of you are going to say that's not cool because there's a lot of traffic and construction around those areas, but I find it fascinating. The cool part about this project is that it's also an economic engine. Over the past 2 years alone, 38.1 million rand has been paid directly into local communities by paying construction workers. Behind the scenes, MyCiTi is also modernizing the way commuters can travel. There will be new depots covering 15 hectares, which can house up to 500 buses. These will include workshops, washing facilities, rest areas for drivers. They also already have underground infrastructure for electric bus charging. And I saw an article recently that they're actually putting out a few buses right now, electric buses, onto routes to test it out and hopefully see how that goes. So that is literally happening in the process as we speak. Another thing is that payment systems are also being upgraded. If you've taken MyCiTi buses at the moment, you'll notice that the payment system is different. And in the future, soon, you should be able to pay with your smartwatch or your phone or a credit card, which is really helpful, and that is what most other international cities use. Now, where does this all lead? Guess what? Phase 2A is not the end of the process. There are planned future phases, which number 1 aims to link the CBD to Bellville, another of Cape Town's city CBDs, and eventually it will link Cape Town to Stellenbosch, which is really cool. If this is all fully realized, MyCiTi then becomes like the structural spine of the city, where everything else can kind of link to pedestrians, taxis, trains, and everything can kind of connect to this BRT system if it works properly. And it is also one of the very few long-term city shaping projects currently underway in South Africa. Most other metros don't actually have anything currently in the works to make their transit systems run better. So I guess the next time you drive past this construction, if you're stuck in traffic on Govan Mbeki Road, or circling all those millions of cones there in Lansdowne, or you're wondering why a bus lane exists where cars used to drive, which sometimes I think because it's annoying, it's because this is a system that's supposed to work for everyone. So if this system works like it's supposed to, all people will be able to get to work, and it does something, a dent in changing or fixing what spatial apartheid constructed years ago. So I think it's a really cool system. Yeah, let me know your thoughts on the MyCiTi buses. Put it in the comments below. I'm open to everyone's perspectives and opinions, and I'd love to hear from you. And again, if you're wondering why the quality of this video is not like 100%, it's because it's shot on my phone. That's what I have right now because my camera got stolen last year in Cape Town. So it does happen. And I'm working on getting a new one. So henceforth, quality is a little bit down, but it's all good. We're here, we're creating content. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like if you like it, or if you don't like it, you don't have to like it, and comment and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.